Hey, good evening. It's Monday, December 30th, and welcome back to Everyday Talk 24/7. I feel like it's been forever since I've been here, and this is the longest stretch that I've had since I've been doing the videos, but I lost my voice Christmas Day, and it's still a little bit rough, and Lord willing, I'll be able to get through this tonight, but just not been able to do them. Didn't have the voice for it, didn't feel great, but starting to feel better now, so I'm thankful for that. So, tonight, this is second to last day of 2024. And I want to start talking about how we can have a vision for rebuilding our families, rebuilding our communities, our churches, that the Bible gives us. And it's a very straightforward one. It's tell our children. Echo just popped up into the scene here. Hey, Echo. It's good to have you along tonight, too. She's been encouragement to me this last week. And by the way, speaking of tomorrow, I'm going to do my annual live drop. So if you don't want to watch the standard TV thing, tune in tomorrow about 10 minutes to midnight, and we'll count down the new year right here without all the TV situations. So you're welcome to join me then as well. All right, let's get to this. Psalm 78, we understand the psalmist tells us why the nation of Israel failed. And it's the same thing, the reason our churches and families are failing today. We fail to tell our children, not just the data, but the heartfelt realities of trusting God. Listen to what's said here. I'm going to read verses 6 through 7, Psalm 78. So the next generation would know them. In other words, God established his decrees and laws in the nation of Israel. He established them so that their children would know them. And he commanded their forefathers to teach them. That's verse 5. Then verse 6. So the next generation would know them, even the children yet to be born, and they in turn would tell their children. Do you see the vision here? It's not just your children. It's not just your grandchildren, but it's the children who will be born after those grandchildren that would hear the truth of God. We have to have this vision for bringing God's truth, God's way of running his world, so that it impacts us, our children, our grandchildren, and then beyond. That's the vision. See, this vision is fast, brothers and sisters. It's fast. I'll show you some images on the screen right now that start with just me and Ruth, then our first son, Austin, and then pretty soon our little children, they get bigger than toddlers, and so we have this next group of the children, and they're roughly ages 4 to 10, and then they grow up, and they become their own men and women who are after the things of God. And then finally, we begin to see the next generations taking place. And that's the final screen, the final image there of my family the way it is right now. Still may grow more, but that's what's happening. The only one missing, of course, is Ruth. But this vision of telling our children so that they would tell their children, and then their children would tell their children to tell their children. And this is what Psalm 78 says. This is why the nation of Israel went off the rails. It says if you do this, then they would put their trust in God and would not forget their deeds, God's deeds, but would keep his commands. They would not be like their forefathers, a stubborn and rebellious generation, whose hearts were not loyal to God, whose spirits were not faithful to him. This is what's happening today. We have lost sight of the significance of telling the truth of God in the practical, everyday matters of life that will impact our children, that will impact their children that will impact their children from generation to generation to generation. See, we're focused only on the moment. And God wants us to have a vision for generations yet to be born. And the words that you and I speak to our children right now, to each other, they need to have that, we need to realize that they echo through time. This is what God has called us to be about here. Verse 4 says that we will not hide them from their children. We will tell the next generation. That's what God wants us to be about. Telling our children. Not just about the importance of getting saved. Absolutely, yes. But the importance about living a life that brings honor to God. That's where the nation of Israel failed. They cared too much for the moment and not enough for the future. I'm going to have a parenting video series coming out, Lord willing, within the next week or so. And we'll begin that series with you on this theme so that we can trust the things of God together. Well, my voice is about shot, but I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Look forward to seeing you tomorrow night when the ball drops. We'll be doing it right here. So you have a great night. Thank you for being here. And Lord willing, we'll see you soon. Great to be with you.